Hey guys, we're Elswhere and you're listening to Beyond the Fandom.
Welcome everybody. On this episode, I am talking with an awesome band out of the UK called Elswhere. If you guys make your round, introduce yourselves. I know one of your people is not here, so if you want to just say his name and what he does as well.
Sure. I'm Ethan. I'm frontman. And Jack, who isn't present, he's lead guitarist.
Ethan, you play as well, right? You said you're a frontman, you sing, but you said you do play some, I guess, secondary?
Yeah, no, I do rhythm guitar sometimes. Rhythm guitar.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm go on, Ben. Go on, Ben.
Alright, I'll go on. Okay, right. That guy's Matt. He plays bass. Right.
And that guy's Ben and he plays drums.
I like that. Everybody else introduce the other person to your left. All right.
The other guy is AJ as well, and he's on the chat.
Yeah, of course I've got AJ with me. AJ is the one who introduced me to Elswhere, and I'm loving the sound. I was listening to your single. I like it a lot. We'll get into that later in the podcast and talk about it, but I'm glad he showed me you guys. I'm glad we got together. I'm really interested to hear more about the band. It's nice to talk to a band from the other side of the world out there in London. Get some information about it. Not in London, UK. Enfield, right? North London?
Yeah. Well, Ben, do you want to tell them all where you're from?
Yeah, so the rest of the band are from Enfield, in London, North London, but I'm from Milton Keynes, which is north of London. So shout out to anyone listening from Milton Keynes.
Definitely. It's pretty late out there right now.
Shout out to no one.
So, how'd you guys meet? I mean, three of you were from one place, and Ben, you're from a place that's a little bit north of that. How'd you guys come together?
Well, it was kind of for me and Jack. We kept bumping into each other for years, and it just kind of got to a point where me and him were like, "We need to do something about this." Matt is a friend of Jack's, so that's how I got to know Matt.
Yeah, we live basically like neighbours. Me and Jack are basically neighbours.
Yeah, and I met through. So I had a previous band, and somebody I met through that basically said that this band was looking for a drummer. So went down to the first rehearsal, and yeah, I liked it.
The rest is history.
Yeah,
so
which is the next section.
Yeah. How long have you guys been together for?
We've been together since last year, January, so only a year and 9 months now.
Okay, yeah. And it all came together pretty well. You guys started rocking out, and I mean, creatively, how did you guys start coming up with the sound? What were your influences to develop the sound that Elswhere has?
It's because the songs were written quite a while ago, and then they were brought to the table when the band had formed and everything. And like, I'm into Bring Me the Horizon, Linkin Park. Matt, tell them your influences.
More like Taking Back Sundays. Trying to think, sort of more sort of pop punky sort of stuff going on at the moment. Nick Deep's pretty good at the moment. Yeah, Basement, them sort of ones. Citizen. That's pretty my mix, really.
Oh, okay, cool.
Right. Yeah, mine would be like probably a combination. I listen to quite a lot of music, so Bring Me the Horizon a lot, Linkin Park, stuff like that. I mean, drumming wise, I would say Bring Me the Horizon is quite a big influence on what I decide to play, and like how I like the kind of phrasing and stuff that he uses. But yeah, so Ethan essentially brings he usually it'd be Ethan would bring the song, and then we all sort of work on it and put in our input and end up with the finished product. But it's like it's just like a bit of a sort of process that we have. But it's like, I mean, initially a lot of the songs that we have, Ethan had been doing, and he just wanted a band to sort of, to give it that sort of band sound. What would you say, Ethan, about that?
There's only so much you can do when you're performing acoustic, and
yeah.
when demos are recorded in full band, it's like, can't do that all on my own.
Yeah.
But like Jack's inspired by artists like The Clash and everything. So when Jack gives ideas and Ben gives ideas and Matt gives ideas, and we all put something all together. And I'm also heavily influenced by movie soundtrack and classical scores, essentially. which is another element we have within our music. We always have strings and just different orchestral elements, but we all bring something in. So the collaborative process is all essentially bringing in our influences to make something sound big. Because when the demos are made, they don't sound like the actual finished product.
Yeah, so it's cool to hear from the first demo that even sort of whips out, and then sort of the final piece. Because you do say how much it sort of develops over time, and it does take time to develop. And yeah. It's a cool process.
You said the songs were kind of, the lyric wise, were pre-written before you guys really came together. Who wrote all the songs? Not all of them, but who is the primary writing? I'm assuming you guys worked together to write, but there was already an idea there before you started.
The lyrically, I write because I'm heavily into my songwriting, and
right.
I really like the meaning behind songs and the words used and the storytelling, and it plays a major role in our songs because all of our songs are about mental health.
Yeah,
and we've all had our experiences as a band with mental health. And it's very important to all of us. So all of us, essentially, especially with the new stuff that we have come in and stuff we're working on at the moment, it's all of us working on it together rather than just me going back and then making something. Whereas the songs that we had before were all essentially my ideas, but we all again bring stuff out of it all together. It's all good team collaboration.
Yeah, like the concept is there, but coming together, you guys have built upon it and created more than just the concept. And I really appreciate what you guys are doing, with a big focus on mental health. I know personally it's been a factor in my life. AJ, I know you've had it impact your life as well. So, again, I want to thank you guys for bringing that to the front of your music and making that a focal point for people to look at. And having the words actually mean something and have an impact on people. It's really special.
Oh, we're really glad because it's something like we said, it's something really important to all of us, and it is something very current as well.
Yeah, it really is.
That needs to be spoken about a lot more.
Definitely.
Yeah, there's a lot of people I gave the song to, and it's pretty much been helping them and becoming almost like a coping mechanism, almost like a comfort thing to them. The song means a lot to me personally. The chorus, really well written. The lyrics in general, just really well written. I love it.
Well, let's talk about the song for a second. So this is the single that you guys are putting out first. It's called "This One's for You." Again, I love your sound. The alternative rock is just, I love the way you guys put it all together with the orchestral parts to it. The lyrics are great. What was it like writing that, and where did that come from as far as the meaning behind it and dealing with the issues?
Initially, it was actually quite personal because it was never actually meant to be a song to put out. Mm-hmm. It was actually a message I put together for someone because I didn't quite know how to help them in that situation. So that's how the song came about. It actually was something personal I sent to someone, and then kind of liked how it came out. So then ended up keeping it as a demo for something more. And then when the band got together, because all of us liked the song, and it was one of the first that we worked on. And then it started developing because when we all came together, it sounds a lot more different to how it used to. But it's just it came from something very important, but became something even more important. Essentially,
it's got a really beautiful message to it. It's a great song. I love it. I've listened to it several times so far, and I'm going to continue listening to it, which makes me excited for the rest of your music coming out here soon.
Thanks.
Yeah, definitely. So when you guys came together as a band, everybody pulled the pieces together and you formed the band. That growing process of working with each other, what was that like?
It was awesome.
I mean, did it click immediately, or was it like, okay, how do we all fit together? What are our strengths and what are our weaknesses? What do we need to work on? Just that whole building the brotherhood there too.
Yeah, well, I mean, because I was fairly new to the group in general, and I've been in quite a lot of bands so far, but I think just immediately what I find is quite important is that you get along with the people you're in a band with.
Right.
You're gonna spend a lot of time with them. You're gonna have to, organise events all the time. You have to speak to each other all the time. You have to have similar ideas and goals. And I think when we initially started, you could sense. Well, I coming into a group of people that I didn't necessarily know straight away. I felt, it's kind of just something that clicks. So you have to have that with writing, but also, on stage, off stage, just in general. I think it's really important as a band, if you're a group of musicians, rather than, say, like if you were to have, if you were sort of sessioning for somebody or something like that, but if you're a band and you've all got a goal, you kind of have to be on the same level and on the same page. So, straight away, I think we sort of clicked like that.
It was when Ben came down, it was literally the week before we had our first practice. I'd sent Ben the demos on Facebook because he was, we were put in touch with each other and sent him the demos. And within a week, he learned the demos, came in, played them straight away. He knew what he was doing, and even just like him walking into the room and me and Jack initially having that friendship anyway, and it felt right automatically. And I was pestering Ben quite a lot, saying, "Oh, Ben, no, you definitely want to be in the band," because automatically there was a connection. Like it felt like we all knew each other for longer than we have, and I've not even known Jack that long, really, in theory, but it feels like we've all known each other for a very long time and we're all brothers, essentially.
Yeah, you get that natural chemistry.
Yeah, and it's almost like an accelerated, sounds a bit lame, but it's like an accelerated friendship, because if you sort of, meet someone at work and then you see them again around a little bit later, and then eventually you might become friends, but with a band you spend so much time with each other that you kind of have to become friends. Of course, yeah. And if you're not getting along, it becomes apparent pretty soon. So yeah,
I think we all sort of rely on each other as well. That plays a big role. You've all got to depend on each other to sort of hold each other's weight up at times as well, especially with sort of writing, the recording, as well as sort of organising stuff as well.
Yeah, and also with Matt as well. We had another bassist who's great and stuff, but then he decided to leave us, unfortunately, and then Matt came in and we had that same, same automatically feeling. We got along with him. So it just, so it's important.
That's good. It sounds like it all fit together pretty well. So when you guys got together in January 2017, over a year and a half now, you've been working on your music. Have you put it on any good shows or gone on any tours yet?
We this weekend we played Rockstock Festival and in Stevenage. It's not in London. It's just off of it, I believe. But played that. It was awesome. Actually, one of the highlights of the shows we've been playing. But we played some pretty good shows. We played a Battle of the Bands last summer. And the venue was packed. It was amazing, and the vibes were brilliant. People chanting Elswhere, and it was amazing. And then in that same venue, a few months later, we were doing our first ever headline show there, which was awesome.
That is awesome.
It's been tricky at times because a lot of our music's not been online or anything, apart from this single. And obviously, people are super fresh to our music. Some people only heard it through us playing our shows. And we do get a few people who do know the words of the songs we haven't released yet, and that's pretty special. But I think it's going to grow the more stuff we release.
Oh yeah,
it's been great as well seeing more people singing along with "This One's for You" as well. When we play our shows, you get a lot of people in the room now knowing the words and singing along with the verses, and it's cool to see that, because it's good to know that now we've got that initial following from playing these shows. When we release a song, some people may know it. Other people won't, but it will be easier for the ones that have seen us before to pick up on the words, which is awesome.
Yeah, and you're getting that reputation, the word of mouth of people that have seen you guys live, and then they're anticipating, they're waiting for your new stuff to come out, they're looking for your shows. And that's got to be an awesome feeling, man, to be out there, a new band, and just to have that click with the audience, and people are starting to enjoy it, and they're tracking you and they're following you. It's got to be an awesome feeling.
No, exactly. It's so awesome. It's so awesome. And when we have people dancing along and putting glow sticks in the air, it's just you get an amazing feeling.
Have you done any actual official tours, or has it just been a few shows, here and there when you guys line them up?
We kind of took part. Our label put on a tour at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
And we went around a bit more. We were playing up north in Birmingham. We played a show there, which is far from London. So it was awesome to be a part of that tour. We only did 2 dates from that, and other than that, it's kind of been we kind of booked our own shows, and we haven't actually done a hometown show. we've done everywhere. We've done everywhere elsewhere.
Well, we've done hometown shows for me. A couple of
yeah.
times.
Good old Milton.
Which is actually where Marshall is based. So,
okay.
Yeah, so it's the home of Marshall. If you guys know Marshall Amplification, is Milton Keynes. It's my hometown.
Check it.
Yeah, I know. Check me out.
You guys have. It sounds like you guys have day jobs because you're still getting this whole thing going. So it's got to be kind of difficult to coordinate. Working out with the band, making money, surviving, and going and doing shows.
Completely. I've had on cases come back from a show in London to go back to my job at 1 a.m. till 7 a.m. So night shift, and vice versa. Yeah.
Life of a rock star. Really. That's how you got to get started.
It's very difficult sometimes to find that balance between work and doing the music.
Yeah.
Because music is such a risky industry. Like you have to sacrifice quite a lot for music.
Yeah.
And when it comes to working a job, like sometimes if something comes up last minute and then you have to try and book off last minute, it's just sometimes it can be difficult, but it can be done.
Yeah, definitely. But you make it work, right? You gotta chase your dreams. You gotta do your thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%. It's just that your manager doesn't always want you to chase your dreams.
He's like, you have one dream, and that's work.
My
Show up to work.
No, my manager's really understanding because actually, I don't know if you guys have heard of a band called Don Broco. They're quite big in the UK, but he used to be their manager, and then they ended up being really big. So he's all into like bands and things now. So if I'm like, oh, we're playing the show, he's like, oh, great. So I'm like, so I'm not in tomorrow, and he's like, oh, great.
He's like, take your time, just take the day off.
He just doesn't want you to work there.
As long as I still get paid, it's fine.
That's awesome though, man. To have that support system there for them to let you do your thing. You gotta appreciate that.
Yeah. It can be quite tough to kind of keep up with both of them, but luckily we've released a single and it's getting quite a lot of brilliant feedback. So like for us, we put a lot of hard work into it, and like we're getting some amazing feedback, and it means really a lot to us.
Well, the hard work shows. So
yeah, really.
Yeah.
It does. It's a great song for the single. This one's for you. I love it, and I can see why people enjoy it so much. And I'm looking forward to what's coming next. What you guys release next, anyways. Talking about tours and shows. You guys said playing the Battle of the Bands, and then coming back and headlining a show at the same venue later. Would you say that's your most epic moment so far, or is there something with the band outside of shows, outside of the music, something that's happened to you guys that's like a big cornerstone of what you are?
I think that signing thing, really. I think we got picked up pretty early. We played a show and then we actually got sort of noticed by a label and then picked up, and it was I think it's like 8th or 8th show, I think, together. So super early on.
Yeah,
so
that's quick.
Yeah, so it doesn't happen. That doesn't happen ever.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really very common anymore you hear a lot of bands from like the 60s and 70s when they talk about how they started, and they say, oh, they were just playing a little venue, the right person happened to be there, and then it all took off from there. But more recently, you've got to have yourself quite a big following already before anyone even notices anything. So we were pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
A lot of trust in us, really.
Yeah.
Well, a big part of that is having a social media presence. Being active on Twitter, being active on Instagram, Facebook, your YouTube. Which the video that I'm watching comes from 11/7 Music, which is a major label company here. That I'm guessing your label out there in the UK is in partnership with them.
Yeah.
Marshall in partnership with 11/7, which is why when we release music over here, it comes under Marshall Records. When we release music over there, it will come through 11/7.
Okay, yeah, 11/7 is huge, and I'm glad you guys are part of that. That means there's a few bands on there that I personally follow, and there's one that I know pretty well has blown up from 11/7. So I'm hoping that does good things for you. I'm hoping they take care of you guys.
Thanks
That
so
is actually
much.
kind of funny because that's how I found the band. I was listening to Papa Roach, I think it was.
Yeah, Papa Roach is on them.
To recommend
Yes,
it.
so
I'm like,
much.
yes, thank you, Papa.
Yeah. And hopefully we get
But
to see
just,
you on a tour with them in the future, because those guys always tour together.
Wow.
Death Punch, Nothing More, Papa Roach, Bad Wolves, they're all on tour together right now.
Yeah.
So it'd be awesome to see you guys on a show with them. Come over stateside and do like an arena tour or
Yeah,
something.
I'll tell you, I'd love for us to play a show with like Papa Roach or
Yeah.
Nothing More.
Yeah.
I think we're a bit too soft for Five Finger Death Punch, but I love Five Finger Death Punch so much.
Yeah, it works. It works. I mean, I saw a big arena tour with them where they had Nothing More, who I went for because I know the guys from a long time ago. And then it was Hell Yeah, Volbeat, and Death Punch was the headliner. So that mix of music right there is crazy.
That's the one.
It was a hell of a show. And again, I would love to see you guys on something like that. Let's get into the social media plugs to kind of help you guys build up some more of your fan base on this side, as well as people who haven't heard you on that side and around the world. Where can they follow you guys at? I know you've got Twitter. Do you have an Instagram, Facebook, any of that other stuff?
Yeah, so Elswhere Band on basically everything, really. Yeah, so just EOS.
Yeah. Let's talk
WH.
about that for a second. Let's talk about the spelling. Elsewhere is not. Yeah, it's not ELSE. It's ELSWHERE. Where'd that come from? Why'd you leave the E out?
So the ELS, they're my initials. This
Really?
makes me sound so arrogant, doesn't it?
Narcissistic?
But-
No.
Yeah, it's ELS are my initials because my name's Ethan Lewis Smith, and my mum. I was trying to find a name for the first EP I made, which also had "This One's for You" on it, like the original version, and we called the EP Elswhere. My mum was like, "It sounds cool. Just drop the second E." I was like, "Yeah, that's awesome."
Yeah, it works.
So it's not because we can't spell.
I like that. That's actually really awesome.
I promise that we can write.
We can write. That's awesome. I love
Just
that.
look at all the lyrics to our songs and none of the words are spelled correctly.
It's also the fact that when I write else now, it doesn't look right now. Or as when I actually write the word elsewhere with the second A in, it doesn't look right.
Right, you're so used to writing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my phone auto corrects it to the band name instead of the actual spelling.
That's a good
I wish YouTube would do that soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish YouTube would do that because YouTube's like, "Did you mean elsewhere spelled correctly?"
No.
I'm like, no. I meant elsewhere without the second E. That's what I meant.
Tell me what to do, YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. Don't you assume
my
what I
phone,
meant?
it's actually got to the point now where my phone actually auto corrects it whenever I type in elsewhere correctly. Or to be honest, I don't think my phone knows the correct way anymore because it always tries to correct it to the way we spell it.
Yeah, I love that though. I love how your initials break down. It's an awesome name for the band. It really comes out good, and it's got
It
meaning
also
behind
kind of
it.
represents it also represents the meaning behind all of our songs as well because it's like an escape.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
when you listen
That's
to the
what
songs,
I heard the name when when the guys told me it, and that's what I took from it. Is that it just is elsewhere. Well, because I've always thought music is quite powerful in that. See, you can listen to a sad song and it changes your emotions, or a happy song it changes your emotions. I always thought elsewhere is kind of it's the music taking you to somewhere, or to build you up, or which is what we're trying to do with the lyrics and stuff. So that's the meaning I got from it, and I spoke to Ethan about it, and it seems similar. But I guess you can interpret it as well, like whatever it means to the person listening.
I like it. It's got a lot of ways that you can interpret it and take it in and make it your own. It's a really good fit. I like the name. It's perfect. And it is for Twitter. It's at Elswhere Band. Do you have an Instagram or Facebook?
Instagram and Facebook are both the same. Yeah,
Okay.
at Elswhere Band.
At Elswhere Band. Okay.
With Facebook, obviously, you can just type in Elswhere.
Okay.
Because it has the little search bar.
Yeah.
Without the second E.
Yeah. If you type it in with the second E in it, you get a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
I think there's been a few YouTube comments on the single saying that have they spelled the name wrong? The 11/7, have they typed it wrong on the upload and all that?
They got it right.
Yeah, they got it right. Yeah.
And then make sure you go follow Elswhere on all the social media links. Get behind them, support them, show them the love, and spread the word about them.
Bring them to America.
Yes.
Do it.
Yeah, let's build that movement over here so we can get them to come over and do a tour, a couple shows for us.
Oh,
Right.
That would be awesome.
Let's do it.
So, do you guys have any
cheers.
parting words for the fans, for future fans, current fans? Anything you want to say to them?
We love you. And
Yeah.
thank you for the support for the first single, really, because I don't think any of us expected such a good reaction, especially with this being the only thing we have up. So there's more music coming soon, really, really soon, actually. And yeah, just as well with the whole mental health thing, if anyone is listening that is going through it or knows someone that is going through it, just you're not alone and they're not alone, and reassure that to them. And there's always a light at the end of even the darkest tunnel, really.
Yeah.
Ben, do you have any parting words?
Just similar, really. Like, we're amazed with the response we've got, and I'd just like to say thanks to everyone who's watched the video, left a comment. Particularly people who have sent us messages. We read literally everything that everyone sends, even the mean ones.
My favourite comment actually on the music video is what was it? He needs to focus more on his songwriting, and he put more time into his songwriting than he does his gay liner.
What? Wow.
I know.
Yeah.
What a dick.
I know.
Ethan cried for at least 2 hours after that.
Yeah, his eyeliner come off as well.
No, he didn't. He didn't really. But it's because we've had messages from people saying that they're using it for their wedding and stuff like that, which is just phenomenal. So I would just like to say thanks for everyone that's responded in any way that they have. Yeah, Matt, do you have anything?
Yeah, pretty summed it up, really. Yeah, thanks for all the nice comments, and not too many of the mean ones, actually. So yeah, just cheers for the response, really. Yeah.
I was gonna say, it looks like it's been pretty much everyone's been overwhelmingly positive. There's a few here and there that are negative, but you're gonna get that everywhere. You just got to brush them off and keep going.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. Everyone's that's listened to it has listened to it, and just any response is a good response for us.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Well, I'm just grateful that people are listening to it.
Exactly. The people have taken their time to listen to it, and
plus,
it's nice to see
sometimes
that there are some people that actually have an emotional attachment to it, which is awesome. That's what we want, because we want people to realise that we're all human.
Yeah.
Plus, the couple of the main ones are quite funny. Do you guys watch Game of Thrones?
I saw that one. I saw that message.
That I look like an emo version of Jon Snow.
Yeah. Which I honestly think, Ethan did reply saying, I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. I
think, yeah.
I say, if they're comparing you to Kit,
I don't mind.
It's not a bad thing. All right, well, awesome. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. I know it's probably late where you're at right now. You got things to do. Again, I want to say I love your music. I'm looking forward to what you have coming out. I hope we can build some momentum behind you on our side and get you some more followers. Hopefully get you stateside or on a bigger level.
That'd be awesome. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for having us.